Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dom's Italian. Listen, this weekend we're going to create a very good pizza. It's an artisan spinach pizza created with many flavors, so stay tuned. This pizza deserves a special dough. This dough is very artisanal. It was created from all-purpose flour, chia seeds, and pine nuts. Once this dough is done, stretched out, we're going to add some fresh pesto, which I just created using olive oil, pine nuts, basil, more olive oil, and fresh garlic. After we add the pesto, we're going to add mozzarella, fresh garlic, lots of spinach, onions, mushrooms, and olives. This is going to make an amazing pizza. We're going to take about 5 cloves of garlic and chop them down so that we can sprinkle them onto the dough and of course onto the pesto that's already going to be on the dough. So now we're going to take the onions and chop them up as well. We'll chop them up as thin as possible. We don't want thick pieces of onions on this pizza because it's going to be loaded. And now we got to cut these portobello mushrooms very fine. And we're going to cut them in halves. And I think this is probably the right size that we want. So everything is cut now, and it's time that we get the dough ready. But before that, I need a glass of wine. So now we're going to start to stretch the dough. Before I do that, I need to sprinkle this board so the dough doesn't stick. Now, this dough is very dense. So rather than try to pull the dough out or size it by hand, I'm going to have to use a pizza roll today. And we're just going to roll this back and forth until we get the size that we want. We're going to go right to the edges until we think we got it. You can see all the chia seeds in this dough. It's going to create a nice texture, a lot of flavor, and you don't see it, but there are very small pine nuts in here. That's going to contribute as well. This is an amazing dough. It's artisanal. It's like nothing you've had before. And as you can see, I am putting a little bit of pressure on this roller to try to spread out this dough because of the nature of it. All those chia seeds, they're really holding on to that dough, making it a little bit more hard to stretch out. Okay, once the dough's on the pan, we're going to start adding this pesto sauce. I'm going to spoon it on and spread it. And look at this color. We got a little bit of contrast. We got the nice dough that's dark. We got the beautiful greens from the basil. We're going to spread some of this around the pizza. You can smell the garlic on this, the basil. well. Now it's time for the mozzarella. We're going to add a little bit to the pizza. Spread it around so that it locks in all the flavors below. And we're going to add some more garlic. Sprinkle that on top. So now we're going to grab the spinach and we're going to just kind of tear it up, let it fall onto the pizza, spread it around. What a beautiful green color they have. Now we're going to add some onions. Let them fall. And now the portobello mushrooms. Look at the beautiful color of these mushrooms. Up against the green, the white onions, and the crust, or the dough I should say, adds more contrast because of the chias. And now we're going to take a handful of the black olives, a handful of the Kalamata olives, and spread them onto the pizza. Now we're going to take some oregano, add that to the pizza. I love this dry oregano. Adds a lot of nice flavor to it. And just a little bit more mozzarella cheese. And now it's time to bake the pizza. This should take about 20 minutes at 500 degrees. So let's wait and see. The pizza's ready now, so we're going to take it out of the oven. Wow, it looks amazing. Look at that crust. Before I cut it and the pizza's still hot, I need to add 3 more ingredients. We're going to add this very hard pecorino cheese. We're going to crumble it on. We're going to add a little Parmesan. And one more special ingredient, it's going to be the black truffle extra virgin olive oil. This is very gourmet and it's going to taste fantastic. We'll let this pizza cool off before we cut it and take a bite into it. And while I'm waiting for this thing to cool off, we're going to have this pecorino cheese and some wine. Okay, now this is the most exciting part of the show. I get to taste this spinach pizza. I get to cut it and taste all those ingredients. So I'm going to taste the olives, the onions, the pecorino cheese, the mushroom, the spinach of course, the pesto underneath, and this grainy artisan dough. So let's get at it. This smells fantastic. It's still a little bit warm, but I can't wait to taste it. Wow. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I taste everything. The truffle oil, the mushrooms, the spinach, the pepperoni cheese, the dough. It's so good. Thank you for joining me again. See you next time. Ciao.